Hey my friends, welcome back to another episode of the Euro Cooking Canuck. On today's segment of Memories of Malta, I'm going to be making something that I grew up on, something that my mom made and that I absolutely love and adore. So this is her recipe. Guys, what we're doing today is something called totlija. Basically it's a soup. Now the term totlija, from what I understand, is the term for when you fry conserva or tomato paste with onions. However, I asked some people who are around my mom's age if they know what totlija is, and they said, of course we know what it is, and I was really pleased to hear that they make the same soup. So guys, today is my mom's recipe, and she makes the best totlija in the world. So let's go in my kitchen and make amazing Maltese totlija. Hey everyone, as usual, welcome to the kitchen countertop. So I have all the ingredients that we're going to need to make totlija. Now it's pretty simple, however, don't let it fool you. This is a very hearty and very tasty soup. Right, so start off, you're going to need the totlija to make totlija. So I have here conserva or tomato paste, and you're also going to need a large onion, and I have some garlic. I'm using the frozen, it's just fresh garlic frozen, so it's a time saver and I love it. The next thing you're going to need are small tube pasta. Now these pasta do swell, so we're going to be going easy for adding them to the soup, but they're called delectable. Now my mom says that my nana, her mom used to call it zebech, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sorry if I'm not. And the gentleman who I asked about it, he said, oh yes, zebech. So this is the pasta you're going to need. Now, obviously in North America, you're going to look for a delectable. They're very small tubes. All right. Then what you're going to need are about 3 or 4 potatoes. I'm going to start with 3 and see how it goes. I may only just need 3. Then you're going to need some frozen peas, or fresh if you have. I'm using frozen. I like peas, so I add a lot. And I'm just setting them out just so they'll thaw down a little bit. You don't have to. Parsley. You're also going to need, obviously, some water. And you're going to need a little bit of olive oil to fry your tomato paste, onion, and garlic in. Now, my mom does it differently. She adds the tomato paste after she puts in the water, but I like to fry my conserva a little bit. At the end, you're going to garnish this. You have a choice, you can do both, but I have here some grated cheese, jobon tahok. Now, you can use Parmesan Reggiano, you can use Cefalotori, a nice hard cheese that's gratable. And also, if you can get your hands on it, I have here Jibania Frisky, which is the fresh Maltese cheeselets. 1 per serving on top of the bowl, just let it melt in. Now, if you don't have Jibania where you are, or you just can't find it, if you don't have a Maltese shop around you, you can use a soft goat cheese, or even a ball of ricotta in a pinch will work as well. Just maybe you might want to lightly salt it. Speaking of which, you will need some salt and pepper to taste as well, always with the S&P. So guys, this is it. This is all the ingredients you're going to need, and I'll show you step by step. It's really simple, but believe me, it tastes so good and the house will smell amazing. All right guys, let's get to it and I'll show you what I do next. Hey everyone, I'm at the stove, and in my pot I have some olive oil with the chopped onion. Try and use a good olive oil if you can, guys. It really does make a difference in this soup. If you have vegetable oil or mazola oil or whatever, that's fine too, but if you can, try and use olive oil in this. Right. So, the onions are starting to get soft. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and marry it with the conserva. So, take that out. Sorry for the noise. Now, I'm going to say you're going to give this a good 2-3 tablespoons of conserva. If you need to add more later, when you taste this, you can go ahead and do that. And this is the totlija process. And I like to do this because I find the raw tomato paste needs a little, I don't know, help, I guess, if you want to say so, in getting that raw taste out. And by browning it with the onions in the hot oil helps that. And look at, if you can see, the oil is taking on that lovely orangey red tinge to it. So at this point, with the conserva, you don't have, or you don't run the risk rather, of burning or scorching your garlic. So go ahead and add that. And then in layers, I always like to season just a little pinch of salt and a good pinch of black pepper. Straight away you can start to smell now the garlic, and now the tomato paste is taking on a more burgundy color, and it doesn't smell raw anymore, and you'll know, you can smell tomato. At this point, what my mom does is she'll add a bit of boiling water, and let this go for a bit, keeping an eye on it and stirring it constantly. Well, not constantly, but often, because you're not going to walk away from the stove at this point. Keep going with that, and then I'll show you what I do next. Oh, by the way, guys, in the meantime, when you've chopped your onions, peel, wash, and chop your potatoes. And you want them in quite large pieces so they don't melt in the soup. And then I'll be right back and show you guys what I do next. It's coming together already. Hey guys, welcome back. So at this point you can see the onions are getting soft. The tomato paste is taking on a nice burgundy color. So what you can go ahead and do now is go ahead and add your potatoes. Now, as I said before, you want to cut them quite large so they don't melt in the soup. And I cut all 4, but I don't think I'm going to use them all, but throw a couple more in there. Right. Stir those around with everything. Get them all nice and coated, and then go ahead and add the rest of your boiling water. Now I'm going to fill this pretty much to the top. So if I need to boil more, well actually I don't even need to boil more water, because the reason why it's boiled is to give it a little bit of a head start basically. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add more water to this, hot water, and then I will bring you back and show you the next step. Guys, I told you it's a really easy soup, but it's going to taste amazing. Alright, so we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. So I've added the boiling water, and then I went ahead and got some more hot water and added that to this. Obviously it's going to take a while for it to come back to a boil. All of the potatoes are in here, as you can see. A couple of not separated here. And the next step is obviously to cook this until the potatoes start getting tender. At which point I will bring you back and we will add the pasta. Now, when it comes to the pasta, this is meant to be more of a brothy soup. So we're probably going to only add about a quarter cup of pasta. They do swell. If you want this thicker, by all means go ahead and add more pasta. But guys, it's not a pasta dish. It's not like spaghetti and sauce. It's a soup after all. And it's supposed to be a little bit more brothy. So I'll bring you back when the potatoes start getting soft and we get like a little bit of a boil going on here, and we'll go ahead and add the pasta and everything will come together then. See you in a bit. Guys, so at this point I've let the soup come to a boil, and then I let it simmer down a bit, and my potatoes are pretty much done. They're tender. A fork goes through them quite easily. So at this point, what I'm going to go ahead and do, and I have a heaping somewhat heaping quarter cup of the pasta, which I'm going to add, and I might just add just a smidge more. You got to be very careful though. Now, before this, that's it. Now, before this, I did taste it, and I decided that it's going to need some more seasoning. The tomato level was great, but it does require salt. Guys, potatoes, pasta, they're quite bland, to be honest with you guys. So, and I do love pepper, so I'm going to put some pepper in there too. Right. So at this point, I have my pasta in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let the pasta come up to until it's basically al dente, pretty much cooked. And then the final step is just to add the peas and the parsley, and the soup will be done, because the peas do not take long at all to cook. Right, so once that pasta is done, I'll bring you all back. Alright guys, I'm back, and as you can see, the pasta has swollen, the potatoes are soft, and this is why I said to cut them in quite large pieces, because a lot of them will break down, and they, some of them might melt. So that's why it's perfect to do that. Now, I tasted again, always season. If you need more tomato paste, you can add more in at that point, or at this point, because pretty much the soup is cooked, so the tomato paste won't be that raw. Now, I'm adding my peas, and I'm going to add my parsley at this point as well. Guys, I happen to love parsley, so I add quite a bit. However, that's completely up to you. I mean, if you don't like parsley, you can leave it out, but I don't think a Maltese dish is complete without parsley. Just my opinion. So, you know what? I think I want more peas in there, but nah. I think it's good. Right, guys. So, at this point, what I'm going to do is turn this right down to low. I'm going to let this go for another few minutes. I'm going to turn the heat off completely, let it sit for a bit just to cool down just slightly, and then we're all ready to serve it up. All right, guys, the soup is pretty much done. The next time you see me, we'll be serving it up. Hey guys, it's time to ladle up the soup and tuck in. As you can see, I have some beautiful Maltese bread here that I'm going to enjoy with my soup. And I'm just going to go ahead and ladle some of my totlija. As you can see, it's lovely. The pasta and potatoes, peas. Hope you can see. It's still steamy. Add a bit of broth to this, and I've tasted it, and it's just like a mama makes. I hope I did mom proud. Right, so at this point, what I'm going to go ahead and do is ladle on some jobon toh-lee-ah, grated cheese. One of my favorite things as a kid was we would pile this on, and as it melts, it would get all stringy and stick to your spoon, and you got to use your teeth to get it off. It was wonderful. And then I'm going to add a cheeselet, if I can get it out of this package. And you can do one or the other, or in my case, both. Thank you. Right. So guys, there we go. That's the end product. I really hope you try this recipe. My mom would like for you to try this recipe. And also, guys, if you like this video, please subscribe. Please hit like. Please comment. I love your comments, and I reply to each and every one of you. And also, please don't forget to go to my Facebook page, which I will put the link to in the description box below. And until we meet next time, have a great day, morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you next time on Memories of Malta. As usual, I'll post a few pictures after this video. Ciao.